The sea is beautiful and merciless. On December 17, 1927, off the coast of Cape Cod, 40 sailors aboard a U.S. Navy submarine learned that truth the hard way. In a matter of minutes, a peaceful training dive became one of the most haunting tragedies in naval history. Welcome to Forge Historic, where we uncover the forgotten stories that shaped our world. If you believe courage matters, even in silence, you're in the right place. It was Saturday afternoon, December 17th, the USS S-4. An 875-ton submarine launched in 1919 was completing standard submerged trials near Provincetown, Massachusetts. On board were 40 men, 4 officers and 36 crew. Nearby, the Coast Guard cutter Paulding was on patrol, scanning for rum runners. The Prohibition era had turned the waters of New England into a smuggler's playground. At 3:37 p.m., the lookout on the Paulding shouted, "Periscope ahead." The cutter's helmsman swung the wheel hard, but momentum carried the ship forward. Her bow sliced straight into the submarine's hull. 2 gashes tore open, one through the ballast tank, another deep into the pressure hole. Within moments, the S-4 began to sink. Inside the S-4, it was chaos. The men in the control room fought to close watertight doors. Pumps screamed. Lights flickered and died. The submarine hit bottom at a depth of about 110 feet, just half a mile off Woodend Light. Those who survived the impact crowded into the forward torpedo room. 6 men, huddled together in icy darkness. They sealed off the compartments, conserving what little air they had left. They could hear the sea hammering outside, could feel the hull groan, and then silence. Hours passed. The oxygen ran thin. Battery acid mixed with seawater created chlorine gas, deadly, choking fumes. But they were still alive. Word of the accident reached the Navy within minutes. The USS Falcon, a salvage ship, and other vessels rushed to the scene. By nightfall, divers were in the watermen like Chief Gunner's mate Thomas Eddy, veterans of previous submarine rescues. They descended through freezing waves, searching by lantern light for the SF-4's steel tomb. When they finally located her, they tapped on the hull. From inside came faint rhythmic knocking. 6 survivors, signaling that they were still alive. A pattern emerged. Desperate Morse code. Air is bad. Getting worse. Hurry. But the sea had other plans. Brutal nor'easter swept across Cape Cod. High winds and icy waves made diving nearly impossible. Rescuers worked around the clock. Pumps, air hoses, salvage pontoons, all were tried, and all failed in the storm. Days passed. Hope began to fade. By the time the weather cleared enough to resume dives, the tapping inside the hull had stopped. On December 22nd, Rear Admiral Frank H. Brumby announced the unthinkable: all 40 men were dead. The S-4 remained on the seafloor for nearly 3 months. Divers risked their lives attaching cables inch by inch in the frigid water. On March 17, 1928, she finally broke the surfacer, twisted, salt-scarred coffin of steel. The bodies of her crew were recovered with full naval honors. Among them were men who had written farewell notes scratched into the walls, still legible when the sub was opened. They had waited for rescue, until their last breath. The tragedy shook the Navy to its core. Public outrage forced a complete overhaul of submarine rescue systems. The Momsen lung, a personal breathing device, and later, the McCann rescue chamber. Nearly a century later, the waters off Provincetown still hold the memory of what happened. A simple plaque on Cape Cod reads, "To those who perished beneath the sea, lest we forget. They were not lost to war, nor to an enemy's hand. They died serving in peace, swallowed by the very element they swore to master." The story of the S-4 is not just a tale of tragedy. It's a reminder that even in silence, courage echoes. If this story moved you, honor their memory. Like this video, share their story, and subscribe to Forge Historic, where we bring the forgotten past back to life. Thank you for watching.